So now I'm just about finished stapling across the top, and something I want to point out to you when you're doing this, just like when you did the sides, you want to make sure that you're compressing down onto the foam with one hand and lightly pulling it with the other, getting it in place, and then putting it in. So you definitely want to do that. Hold it down, press that foam right down, that dacron down. And then we're going to come across the top of it. We're going to create a little angle, right angle here. We're going to come to this side, do the same thing here, creating a right angle. So that's what that looks like here. We've got it angled right here. Now we're going to flip this over. Matter of fact, I'm going to come over here so you can see what I'm doing a little bit. Time to start on the bottom. This may look a little scary for you, because you got to cut your fabric up close. Now here's your bottom. Now the first cut you're going to make on it, sure you can see it, is right in here. And you see where the inside of that return is right there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my scissors so it's actually touching the inside, like that. Then I'm going to cut, just like that. And you see where I'm at, I'm very close right here. That's my first staple. Then you can take your hand and swipe it across the fabric. And again, I've got these little dots, so I'm going to follow that a little bit. Get this little reach over here. Yes, it will. And then I'm going to get it right to the edge of the table. Put a few staples on it. Then I'm going to go to my other end. Remember, you're always working left to right. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, but you also want to make sure that you're following wherever your dots were, or whatever type of your pattern is, even if it has some type of a grain. You want to follow it, so you're using the same spots. And my hand's traveling across the cornice to keep it, and my other hand here is pulling it. Don't like pull it and stretch it to death. But you just want to calm that padding down. You want to squish it, swiping your hand across. Again, with your scissors, you want to take it to the inside of that cornice and cut it. And you're going to cut it so that part of the is even with this right here, with the edge of your cornice right here. Okay, with that like that, go ahead, swipe it. See if I can make this reach, just barely. Okay. Now all we're going to do with it is keep traveling over, swiping, holding in place, and stapling. And you continue that all the way across, then we'll be right back. So now I've got this all stapled along the bottom of my cornice, just like that. Now, as you remember here, we made that little cut. That was the very first cut on the bottom. And this is going to be perfect for us, because now we're going to flip our cornice this way. And with our stapler, we are going to bring the fabric over, almost like on a 45. And again, using your hand and working it. I'll show you what this looks like in a minute. Again, we're going to pull the fabric And that's what that looks like right there. It's like a little 45 going to the inside of the cornice. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're always working left to right. Here we are here, or right to left, but we always have to work even. You do one thing on one side, you go to the other side, and you do the same thing. And again, you can almost see how it's already have this little angle like that. So then you're just going to bring it in. Like that. Again, it's like this. We've got our cut like that. We're going to bend this part in and bring it down. Pull in your fabric. Stapling along the inside of the cornice. Okay. And nice little clean 45. So now we have it stapled all the way around, but now we have to work on the inside of the cornice. I'm going to bring this around. Starting on this side first. As you notice, it's not just going to sit down in there. So we have to put a little cut to make it sit in there. I'm going to take my scissors, bring it over here so you can see this a little better maybe, and I'm going to cut on an angle. I'm actually going to cut an angle into this corner. Just how my scissor is, that's the type of angle you're going to be putting. So I'm coming in like this. Like that. I stop it right at the edge of this corner. I'm going to cut some of this away because I don't need it all. I'm going to bend this in. I'm also going to take this end and I'm going to bend this in. Okay, you see the inside of that? Looks just like that. So again, I cut into that. It's like this. I'm folding over the excess. And then I'm folding this in. And that's what that's going to look like. I'm going to take my staple gun. Only stapling a little bit more than halfway down. I'm not stapling this part closed yet. Now I'm just going to trim off some of this excess because we don't need it all. Alright, so that's that so far. Now you see this little guy hanging right here? Watch what happens here. Hold it into the cornice, put a couple staples. Like that. Now since we did this side, we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Coming across. Here it is. Now this is going to have the same type of angle. Going into it, I'm going to cut it right to that corner, like that. Put this up a little bit so you can see. This is here right now, like that. Take my scissor and I'm going to cut it into the corner on an angle. Okay, just like that. Then, again, we're going to trim off a little bit of the excess that we don't need, like that. Bend it in. And the same with this. We're going to bend this in. Let's see if you can see that. Just take your finger, or your thumb, or your finger, and bend it into the corner. Fabric taut. Take your staple gun. little over halfway is about enough. And again, you've got this piece here. You're going to fold it in so it's like on a 45, like that. Show it this way again. See how that's almost there anyway. Just going to take it, fold it in. And you're going to staple it. And again, cutting off what you don't need. Okay, we have that part down. Now it's time to add our welting. I'm going to start right with the bottom. And I like to have, there's two ways you can put welting onto a cornice. The first way, let me turn this around, is more of a professional way. However, it takes a lot longer. You notice when you did your piping, it's in two layers because you had it folded over. So you have a layer, the inside layer, like that. And that becomes helpful because when you're putting this on, I'll just show you as an example, you'd be putting it on this way. You'd be stapling it here. And then once you staple it in place a little bit, you would take this cardboard and you'd place the cardboard in here, like so. You'd staple it in, and then the second layer hides it. You bring this around like that, and you staple it here. So that's one method of putting this on. But we're not going to use that method. We're going to cheat and hot glue it on. You can get away with it with many of the cornices. Some, like silks and stuff like that, I probably would recommend using the cardboard method. But this is a nice upholstery weight fabric. It's a fabric that would adhere very well to hot glue. So we're going to glue it on. Start on this end. Now I don't put the glue on the cornice itself. I put the glue on the welting. Having it flat, and I always try to keep it close to the stitching here when I put my glue on. You want to work small amounts at a time. Using the glue. Don't bring it all the way over to the edge when you first start. You're going to put it on. When you come to this corner, you simply pick it up. And create a 45 right in here. Okay, so that's that part of it. Then you're going to continue working it. Just like that. Until you get to the other end. And I'll be right back.